From the national newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte. Several Liberal MPs have confirmed to the Canadian Press they won't be at a caucus meeting in BC tomorrow. New Brunswick MP Wayne Long is among them. Long says if the Liberals are to mount a campaign that can beat Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, it can't be led by Trudeau. Meantime, the Bloc Québécois says it's ready to wheel and deal with the Liberals now that its confidence and supply agreement with the NDP is over. Bloc House leader Alain Thétienne says his party is happy to regain its balance of power, noting the situation is a window of opportunity now that the Liberals are truly a minority government. New Brunswick Liberals got a jump on the province's upcoming fall election today with the official launch of their party's campaign in Fredericton. A manhunt is underway in Kentucky for a suspect who shot at 9 vehicles and left 5 people injured along an interstate highway south of Lexington. Sheriff's Deputy Gilbert Asiardo says the shooter could still be hiding in a wooded area where his vehicle was found.
We're not going to rule that out. That's not good police work. We hope and we believe that he's up there. That's why we're saturating that area. But we are looking in other directions just to err to be safe.
Law enforcement officials say the shooting appears to be a random act of violence and wouldn't speculate on a motive. Quebec is blaming an increase in immigrant students as a major reason for teacher shortages as the province looks to fill 2,000 job postings.
Quebec Education Minister Bernard Drainville says there are 20,000 more students enrolled compared to a year ago and that 80% of them are immigrants. But educators say newcomers aren't to blame for the shortage. Concordia professor Diane Carrienne says immigration doesn't explain why there are shortages in areas that have seen fewer new immigrants. Stephen Lesser, head of the association representing teachers in Quebec's English schools, says the Anglophone network is also missing teachers, even though the vast majority of immigrants must enroll in French school. Lauren Izzo, The Canadian Press.
And the sequel to the 1988 horror comedy Beetlejuice scared up the biggest audience at the weekend box office.
Don't say his name. If you say his name 3 times, he will appear.
Beetlejuice earned $110 million domestically in its first weekend, according to studio estimates. That makes it the top draw for movie theaters this weekend. When the original came out 36 years ago, it made $8 million. Deadpool and Wolverine take second place this week, with Reagan in third. Alien Romulus is number 4, and It Ends With Us is number 5. I'm Margie Zaraletta.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Canada wraps up the Paralympic Games in Paris with 29 medals, including 10 gold. It's the most Canada has brought home since the 2008 Paralympics in Beijing. Ottawa's Brianna Hennessy earned Canada's first Paralympic medal in canoe and says she hopes the Games change attitudes toward people with disabilities.
People with disabilities shouldn't have to do something extraordinary to be seen or respected in their communities. And I think that's what we're representing here, something much bigger across the world.
Hennessy and swimmer Nicholas Bennett of BC were Canada's flag bearers at tonight's closing ceremony. Yannick Sinner beat Taylor Fritz in straight sets to win the U.S. Open men's singles title. It's the Italian's second Grand Slam title of the year. Fritz's loss means no American male has won the U.S. Open since 2003. And the Toronto Blue Jays dropped a 4-3 loss to Atlanta today in the major leagues. From the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.